Welcome. Um, Today we are talking about navigating narcissistic friendships can be challenging and emotionally draining. Whether you approach them with a growth mindset or a fixed mindset can greatly impact your well being, your sense of self, and your ability to set healthy boundaries. So, fixed mindset, in a limited mindset, a narcissistic friendship can lead to self doubt and guilt. You might believe any criticisms or manipulative comments a narcissist friend makes, internalizing their negative messages about you. Fear of conflict or abandonment. With a limited mindset, you may tolerate poor treatment out of fear of losing the friendship, believing that conflict or standing up for yourself could damage the relationship. Dependence on validation. Narcissistic friends often seek to control or dominate relationships, and with a fixed mindset, you might prioritize their validation over your self respect, feeling reliant on them to feel good enough. Difficulty setting boundaries. This mindset can make it hard to set and enforce boundaries, as you may worry about pushback or further conflict. In this mindset, you might feel trapped, convinced that you can't change the friendship or your place in it. This often leads to a pattern of enabling the narcissistic friend's behavior and compromising your own needs and self-worth. But if you had a growth mindset, you can approach a narcissistic friendship with greater awareness and resilience, focusing on self-respect, healthy boundaries, and self-improvement. You recognize the behavior patterns. It helps you see the patterns of narcissistic behavior, such as manipulation, lack of empathy, or the need for control, as a reflection of the friend, not a reflection of your worth. Prioritize self respect and boundaries. You learn to set and uphold boundaries without fear of losing the friendship, knowing that a healthy friendship is one where mutual respect exists. Detach from validation needs. You can shift your focus away from needing their approval, knowing your worth isn't defined by someone else's view. This allows you to maintain self-esteem even when your friend is dismissive or critical. Learn from their experience. Instead of feeling stuck, you view the friendship as an opportunity to practice boundary setting, assertiveness, and self-compassion. This experience can build emotional strength and resilience. So, how to foster a growth mindset in dealing with narcissistic friendships? Acknowledge your feelings. Validate your feelings of frustration or hurt without judgment. This reinforces your self-worth and reminds you that your feelings are valid and deserve respect. Set clear boundaries. Focus on self-care and supportive relationships. Practice detachment. Mentally detach you from their opinions or attempts to control the relationship. Remember that their behavior often stems from their own insecurities and is not a reflection of your value. Reframe conflict as growth. If you do need to confront your friend, view it as a chance to practice assertiveness and boundary setting, regardless of their response. Conflict in this case is a tool for growth, not something to fear. So imagine a friend who frequently makes passive-aggressive remarks about your achievements. With a fixed mindset, you might feel hurt and confused, questioning your accomplishments or wondering what you did wrong. You may even downplay your achievements around them to avoid criticism. However, with a growth mindset, you might recognize this behavior as jealousy or insecurity on their part and choose not to take it personally. You set a boundary, perhaps by calmly addressing the comments or reducing how much personal information you share with them. You seek validation from within and from friends who celebrate your success, reinforcing your own worth and moving forward with a sense of self-respect. So, a growth mindset allows you to approach narcissistic friendships with self-respect, clear boundaries, and inner confidence, making it easier to detach from their harmful behaviors. By learning from their experience, you not only protect your emotional well-being, but also build skills like boundary setting, resilience, and self-compassion. This empowers you to navigate relationships more effectively, fostering a sense of control over your life and relationships. So the art activity today is called My Garden of Boundaries. The objective is to identify and reinforce personal boundaries, visualize growth and self-worth, and reflect on the nature of healthy versus toxic friendships. So large sheet of paper or journal, markers, colored pencils or paints, magazines or printed images, scissors and glue, optional decorative items. Draw a garden layout. a large central shape for a garden or field, representing a safe and personal space for you to plant and nurture positive qualities. Outline an imaginary fence or border around this garden. This border represents your boundaries, a space where only nurturing relationships and self-respect are allowed to enter. Identify and draw healthy plants inside the garden. Within your garden, so draw a collage representations of flowers, trees, or plants that symbolize positive qualities you want to nurture in yourself and in your friendships. Think of these as qualities like respect, honesty, support, and kindness. Label each plant with a quality: trust, respect, self-love, or supportive friendships trait you want to keep within your space. Create a boundary zone outside the garden. Draw or collage plants or symbols that represent the negative aspects of the narcissistic friendship. This might include drawings of weeds or vines with labels like criticism, control, self-doubt, or manipulation. Use colors or lines to depict these elements in a way that represent their impact on you. Darker colors or jagged lines to convey hurtful behaviors. Reinforce your garden's fence. Go over the garden fence with a bold line or create a decorative symbolic barrier, like a wall of flowers or stones. This barrier represents your commitment to protecting your mental and emotional well-being. Consider writing words on or around the fence like boundaries, protection, self-respect, or growth. Let this boundary be a clear visual reminder that certain behaviors are not allowed to cross into your garden. Personalize your garden with positive symbols. Add decorative symbols inside the garden that represent self-compassion, inner peace, or other supportive qualities. This could include images like butterflies for transformation, hearts for self-love, or stars for hope. Let these symbols represent the qualities that keep you grounded and focused on your growth. So reflect. Once your garden is complete, reflect on the visual separation between what's inside the garden, your self-worth and positive friendships, and what's outside, the toxic behaviors you're setting boundaries against. Consider writing or thinking about these prompts. How does it feel to create boundaries around your self-worth? What qualities inside the garden represent your core values or strengths? How can you protect and nurture your personal garden in real life? So optional discussions. What did you discover about your needs and boundaries through this activity? How did it feel to visually separate positive and negative elements in your friendships? Which qualities inside the garden will you prioritize in future relationships? So this activity provides a safe, creative way to explore and visualize healthy boundaries in friendships. By separating positive, nurturing traits from negative ones, you empower yourself to protect your self-worth and focus on growth. The garden symbolizes a personal space where you can nurture supportive relationships and self-compassion, creating a reminder to prioritize a growth mindset as you navigate your friendships.